verge of diarrhea.
That's what you sound like when you're about to diarrhea?
That's the first thing that came into the...
No, that's what Zariel sounds like when she's about to diarrhea. Thank you very much. Also, nice amber beer.
And she uses contracts as...
As what?
TP.
Yeah, PP.
It just gets the spine of an imp. Okay.
All right.
Who's getting up? Oh, he's getting down.
You boys ready?
No.
Hell yeah.
Session number whatever the fuck we're on.
The penultimate session.
That's right. That's the best phrasing for it. Let's do our classic recap of what happened last session. You blew up the scab surrounding the citadel, leaving it exposed and emitting light into the vast darkness and evil of the plane you are on. You also blew up your friend, severed him in half, but then laid him to rest, literally on his own ass cheeks.
To be fair, that was an accident.
It was an accident. I will give you that. But at least he got to see his final moments, which he took a shower of meteors onto his own face. You then parted ways with Silas for a little bit, for a couple of hours. He reconvened with you at the place that you currently are, but not before you chased down the path of the Krakatoak, this giant slug with legs. And you pissed it off for a brief moment, and it almost swallowed your entire vehicle whole, but you dodged that. Made your way up to the river, which is on the other side of where Elturel is currently being yanked in different directions. Some chains attached to it pull it towards the ground of Avernus, and some of the chains are on the other side of the river, pulling it towards the river. And from what you can tell, the demons have co-opted those chains and dragged their mounts towards their side. As it stands, the war rages on beneath the city, which is about 150 feet off of the ground. Getting closer by the second. The standout combatants, other than the typical armies of devils and demons, is one pit fiend with a glowing helmet, waving its arm, seeming to command legions of devils at a whim. Yol went up to check on the city, found that Nasius was doing a good job fending off the hordes of demons and devils trying to make their ways up the chain. The unicorn helping as well. And then on his way back, he came down and saw all the armies descending onto Elturel from many kilometers away still. To the north is Archon, his bodyguard, and Tiamat, most noticeably. And I'm revealing this as we go. To the west, an army of war machines led by the warlords that you've only heard about. The three remaining, as you've eliminated one. From the east, you have a much larger than average pit fiend in Gargoth leading well-organized platoons of devils. From the south, you have...
Silas's mom.
You have this very eerie, shifting creature standing about 20 feet tall, seeming to just glide over top of the river Styx, surrounded by several hundred feet of black ground upon which demons skitter across, making their way towards Elturel. And you also know that the Krakatoak is somewhere to the east. And lastly, unmentioned because he went unseen, but still in your minds, somewhere in Elturel, gathering his own army, is Gideon.
He stinks.
Probably.
And as you take all this in, you descend. And the first thing that you guys will start your session with, you see very clearly what's happening, but to the rest of the crew, with your just kind of hanging out around your vehicles, you hear the distinct sound of hammer on nail. You turn around to see a little gnome hammering a board to put up a sign at this little stall that he's assembled behind your vehicles. And he just looks at you cross-eyed and smiles. Yes.
Can you put on the map Mahadi's tent too? Because you said Mahadi's tent was.
That's right. I'll put Mahadi in there as well. And Mahadi has assembled just to the east of Elturel as well. So I'll just put him there, and you guys can see kind of where he's at. So
So this text in the middle of the screen that says Elturel, that is the location of Elturel.
Yeah, here, I'll drag it a little bit closer. Like, it's a big block of text, but that is effectively where it is.
And we're on the other side of the river?
Wait.
Yeah, you're not at
Mahadi's
Harmon's
west or
Hill.
East?
Sorry?
Mahadi's west or east? You're saying
He is to the west. Sorry, he's to the west. He's to the west.
Okay.
And we are underneath Elturel on the west side of the river?
That's right.
Oh.
And a part of Elturel actually does overhang over top of the river. That's how close it's been pulled down.
I see. So we crossed something to get to this side, I'm imagining, right?
You're still on the west side, or on the east side, sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought you said we were on the west side. My bad.
No, you're on the east side.
Okay,
We
back
did
to
say we were on the west side.
I did say that?
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize. You're on the east side.
Fucking.
that's really key. Yeah, east or west. That's very
You're,
key.
you're on the east. Elturel is to the west.
Okay.
We're on the west side.
Back to the gnome.
Yes. So this gnome has patchy hair, a patchy black beard. It's like he shaved and was just had mishaps the whole ride. And he's got a
Attack helicopter.
yes, for hair. And yeah, he has put up a little sign, and it just says, crudely written as though a child painted it on, it just says, shop.
And you said only Yol notices this?
He sees it as he's descending down towards you, but you all hear the hammering, and you turn to see it as well. And you just hear Rhea distinctly, what the fuck?
Hello?
Hey.
Seems like not the right time to be here. Or the right place.
I don't see a problem with it.
Do you know what's to happen here?
Well, I'm hoping for some excellent transactions.
I'll kind of turn. Do we see the armies, or did Yol only see the armies?
I'll say at this point, Yol is the only one who's really gotten the full scope of everything.
So we got no idea.
You'll have to give me a time frame for like how, because I'm decently far away from them still, right? Like I'm a few hundred meters. They pulled up short of the city. And
The armies?
on stuff.
We did.
No,
We did.
You guys. Yeah, that's right. You guys are quite a bit away. So I'll say you
not
can
yet
just.
regrouped.
I mean, you'd be regrouping within seconds, so it's not a problem.
Oh, well then.
So I don't see any armies at all.
No.
Okay.
If you're saying that I have regrouped with everyone,
Yeah.
that would be my first announcement.
Okay.
Um,
So regroup. You're regrouped.
the war, it appears, has. Well, I guess the war hasn't started. The war's been started. But the final battle, it seems, is about to begin.
See? No. Now's not a good time.
Maybe it's a good time.
I've always learned that there's no better time than now.
Well, don't waste our time then. What are you selling?
I am glad you asked. And he pulls up from underneath this tiny little shelf, pulls up a bag with 4 scrolls inside of it, puts it down on the left third of his shelf, or his stand, pulls out a little ring, centers it perfectly, shuffles it around so it's nice and perfect on the center. And then at the end, he pulls out a seemingly innocuous pair of kind of beat up leather gloves. Now, don't be greedy. I have other customers to serve.
This is all you have?
All I have. This is a unique service. And how dare you?
Look at him. He can't carry much more than that.
I'm not doing business with either two of you.
There's 5
Oh,
of us.
come on. We're joking.
I'll deal with the lizard bird and the old man. Offensive.
How did
Tell
you
us what
find
these
us?
things are, or I'll put you in the river.
What? What did you say, lizard bird?
What is this?
These are my goods. Thank you.
Describe
Cross-eyed
them.
the whole time, by the way.
What do they do?
I'm glad you asked, you
Hurry up.
pleasant man. My.
Listen, if you're not aware, we have things to do, people to save, armies to defeat. I appreciate your time, but it is precious at the moment.
May I explain?
Please.
I wish you would.
These, and he goes to the little packet of scrolls. I'm sure you can guess. It's my special mystery bundle of spells. Don't peek. This, I forgot what it does, but it does something. And he's pointing to the ring. And these make you shoot an arrow straight as an arrow. Or throw an axe straight as an arrow. Like I said, don't be greedy. I have other customers to serve.
So you don't want us to buy these things because you want someone else to buy them.
You can buy one thing.
But if I offered to buy all of them, you would say no because you have to go sell those things to someone else. You would say no to sell it to me because you have to go sell it to someone else. Is that am I understanding?
Well, and he reaches down and he pulls out like a block of wood attached to a chain that's connected to his belt, and he looks at it as though it's a pocket watch. There's too much time left in the day. And all the customers the rest of the day will want to buy something. So, I have to be left with some goods to sell. I'm sure you understand.
Young master, I'm not sure that there's much time left in anything. And I will use this opportunity to make sure that everyone is very well aware of the dragon god flying over from the north. And the hordes of war machines driving in from the west. And this weird mushroom bitch coming up from the south. And we all know about Gargoth. Who cares about Gargoth? He's a little pussy.
Yell that. You say that a little louder. I don't think he heard you.
I'm not concerning myself with the Gargoth right now.
Well, you definitely sold all these items very well. Like we're about to potentially be in the middle of the fight for the seat for Avernus, and you brought us leather gloves, a ring, and scrolls you don't know what they are.
No,
I
a
know.
ring that he doesn't. I'll tell you what. I will give you 3 platinum to give me all of these things and leave.
That just happens to be the cost for all of these things.
Splendid.
But I'm not doing that type of business today, lizard bird. You can give me 1 platinum for one of these things, and that will be that.
Probably the ring, right, guys?
Lizard bird.
Will you leave if we do that?
Why don't we just take the things?
Tiny man?
No, Silas.
And he looks at his like block of wood. Yes, I have to set up elsewhere. You just happened to be here. I didn't come to you. You came to me.
What time is it? We haven't looked at a clock in like a week now.
It's early.
Early for what?
Business to be conducted, friend.
You seem like someone who would fit in great at my friend Mahadi's traveling circus of weirdos. Would you like to go over there?
I may.
There's lots of customers there. Good foot traffic.
Then better reason to keep my stock.
Oh my god. Okay, we want to buy anything from this
I'll
guy
take
or
out
not?
1 platinum. I have a platinum piece in my hand. And be like, please take one of these things and leave it on the ground. Take this and be gone.
Roll a d4, Crepe. If it's a 4, if it's a d4, re-roll it.
Well, I can just roll a d3.
Oh, roll a d3. Roll a d3. He takes the package of scrolls and gingerly, like, picks it up and dusts off a piece of the ground, taking an annoyingly long time to do so, and sets it on the ground. And then he takes the other items, puts it down on the shelf underneath. Pleasure doing business with you. And he starts taking
What's
out the
gnome
nails.
doing in Avernus? What is your name?
Ah, some of you know my name. And he just keeps deconstructing his...
Son of a bitch.
Buru. Let me be very clear. Would you rather save Elturel or know a gnome's name?
Well,
Pick carefully. Take
I,
talk.
yeah, that's gonna happen. But if he came from a different plane, like our plane, I would like to know.
Yes, I agree with you. If there wasn't a giant flying five-headed dragon flying towards us.
Which you all can see
he's
now,
a
by
god.
the way. Which you can all see.
It is
And
not just a dragon, it is a god. A dragon almost killed us. A dragon god will certainly kill us.
not to mention, what do you have in your pockets? Huh, Buru? You've got some Tiamat coins, don't you? Oh, I bet Tiamat can smell that.
You want another platinum?
Um,
Right here.
no.
How about 2 for 1?
I am a fair business gnome. Thank you very much.
All right, we're done with you. Just leave.
Pleasure.
I'm gonna say thank you for your business. I'll pat him on the back and give him guidance.
And he immediately uses it to quickly pack up. And he's got this like elongated just box. He takes the sign and kind of closes up the underneath the shelf and nails it shut. And he just sits on the box and it just raises up and levitates him off the ground, turns him, and he just flies out over the river Styx towards Mahadi's.
Oh my god.
Okay.
You can have them
Fantastic.
if you want, Silas. I don't know. He was annoying. I didn't
I'll-
like that.
I'll go over to them and just see what we got separated out. to
Okay,
the
how are we
people.
gonna? While Silas is looking at that, how are we crossing? How are we doing this?
Well, let's just discuss what our options are.
I'll carry you across. I don't care.
Is that where we want to be? We need to. There's chains on both sides of the river, right?
That's right.
And there's chains coming from the river as well.
That's right. So think of it this way: there are 2 chains that are like directly in the river. There are 2 chains
Down.
on your side of the river, but all 4 of those are working towards pulling them towards the river. The rest of them seem to be in control of the devils, pulling it towards Avernus.
So
It seems to me this is a multi-layered problem. First, we obviously need to remove the chains. Secondly, if we focus on removing the chains on this side, it'll be an uneven pull, which means the opposite side will get pulled even stronger. We need to remove them almost simultaneously, as if we can't even figure out how to remove them at all.
The most important thing is to remove the chains pulling it into the city. Or into the river, rather.
That's true, but
how do we do that?
we can't just fly above the river and remove the chains. At least not all of us can do that.
Well,
And what about
there is a certain massive galloping slug who might be able to do that.
If it doesn't fall into
And as
the river.
we've learned, it is ever so slightly irritable.
and how long before the armies get here?
If you give me an hour, I might be able to stall some armies, depending on where we need the support.
I'm not confident you have an hour.
I wanna kick my shoe and call Baldon.
Okay.
Anything happen?
Yep. Oh yeah. Baldon comes to you
Oh,
instantly. Gets summoned.
thought he died in the dream.
He did.
Okay.
By the way, just a quick question. I have removed curse scrolls from the dream. I should delete those, right? Like that's not with me anymore.
Correct. Anything you gathered in the dream.
Okay.
Except for your memories.
Yeah.
Lemon. I'm sending you the scrolls
Okay.
because you picked them up.
So our plan is we need to free Elturel. That's what we're thinking.
Sorry, did you just get here?
No, I'm just trying to understand how we're supposed to do that with a giant. I mean, when we
Well-
first came here, we didn't know how to do it. How are we supposed to do it now with more chains?
Hold
And
on a
even
second.
some that we can't even
I
get
have a
to.
DM question.
Yeah.
The High Rider Banner, do I recall the army being like apparitions? Like, do they fly? Are they foot soldiers? Like,
Yep. So that is a good question. So
They're spirits, right?
yeah, they're spirits. So they would operate the same way that a ghost would. So damage can be done to them, but they're a little bit more crafty, and they're obviously trained warriors.
so they could technically fly.
Yep.
Okay.
My question is, how do we break the chains? I know we have to free Elturel, but I don't think we have enough time. If we would have known how to break the chains, we would have done it.
We are not going to be what break the chains. We will just bring something big enough to do so.
But do we have the time?
Silas, I don't think we have a choice. We have three options. Or not three options, but three paths, so to speak. Path 1, fight the armies. Silly. What would we accomplish? We would die. So priority needs to shift on potentially sacrificing our lives to free Elturel from the chains. Once we free Elturel, Nassius can lift Elturel back up, potentially at the cost of our lives, but that's fine. Or 3, we forgot there's a possibility that somehow Zariel can help us remove these chains too, either by A, killing her, B, negotiating. I don't really like B, but we can't fight the armies. So
Well,
that narrows down what we can do.
let's say
There's another detail, DM. You said there were prisoners on the River Styx, right?
Oh yes, there was a boat with prisoners
Where's
to
that?
the north. To the north.
Oh, it's like right here?
Yeah, like up a bit. Yeah.
Okay. So we're just like...
They were demon prisoners, weren't they?
There were demon prisoners with primarily devils at the helm. But it is anchored to a bridge right now.
What the fuck? Why would you give us that detail?
It's there.
That's right, because it's there.
A boat to cross, sure, but... How do you deal with the change?
We use the chaos of the impending battle. And maybe something massive will just so happen to bash its head into these chains to break them. Unless you had another plan.
Oh, I'm just thinking, why is everybody coming here? They're all fighting over. They all want the power, so they all want the seat.
They are coming here
Not for Elturel.
because they know that Zariel will be here. Zariel will come here to defend Elturel, because Zariel wants Elturel. Zariel has Elturel.
Would like to cast a spell.
Okay.
I'm going to be casting 5th level commune.
Okay. Does that take a while?
1 minute.
Okay. So you guys keep going. So you guys see Gantash just kind of get in this trance and start casting. Rhea will chime in here, and she will, to Yol, say, Yol, you've never really struck me as somebody who just flies into things without at least thinking a little bit. What are you talking about? What's going to be bashing its head into these chains?
Well, first of all, that's kind of what I did for my entire life, actually. So we don't know each other very well, clearly. Let's have a beer after this. There's also a giant slug with legs that I would wager is 100 times the size of any of us. Seems like something that could probably do a decent work job on these chains. Gargoth, maybe. A decent hit on the chains. A massive 5-headed dragon god. Probably do a decent number on these chains.
And what are you going to ask nicely? I saw the slug you're talking about. What are you going to just
Outmaneuver.
like try to dodge out of the way while it's trying to kill you?
If Gantash can do it.
Wait, I don't think you know, but those wings, he doesn't actually use them.
Has a minute passed?
Sure. We'll say a minute's passed. But
Let me finish this conversation first.
well, Ray kind of is just like staring at you incredulously at your bravado here.
What do you suggest, Hellrider? Hack at them with your crossbow until you get sleepy? I don't know if you've noticed, but we're in a bit of a spot of bother.
I think Gargoth's a no-go. He won't care.
I'm not going to ask Gargoth to do anything. Gargoth is big. Gargoth is angry. Gargoth is strong. Big and strong. Pretty good tool to use.
I think out of the last people to fight, it would be Gargoth.
Yeah, he let us walk.
Yeah, he would be the last to fight.
If he was gonna swing at you, why wouldn't he have just done it then?
Whoever said that Gargoth is going to swing at me? Or any of us? Gargoth is fighting to become the Lord of Avernus. Odds are he'll swing an arm or two.
Now,
Why does all of a sudden everyone give a shit about semantics? This is where we're at.
Because
Do you have a better idea to break these chains or not?
it's not semantics. It's my city. It's my people.
And how
I
do you
think
suggest we save your
Crocotalk
city
is
and
the
your
way to
people?
go.
I don't suggest anything. You're probably right. It's going to take something big. And she like looks over towards the silhouette in the cloud of Tiamat and just kind of shakes her head like, I don't know if I can even do this.
You know what happened to the last Hellrider who deserted, right? Now look over at the pile of bodies that is now Haramon's Hill.
It is quite a bit away, but
I got eyes.
the note is taken. And you see her kind of like puff up a little bit. You're right. You're right.
I'm not asking you to die. I'm not asking you to make a foolish decision. I'm not asking you anything. I am ordering you to have a little faith.
And you just hear Lulu on your back. Only you hear it. She just kind of under her breath just goes, "Oh shit." And you see instinctively Rhea kind of like almost stands at attention for a second at the word order and just, I have a lot more faith than you think. I think I had more faith in this group than any of you.
And it's time to show it. And I'd like to take... Well, I guess you'll have to tell me if I can actually do this. I'd like to take the High Riders banner that I got from Elanthius?
Yeah.
And I would like to give it to Rhea.
What does this mean?
You make the orders now? High Rider?
And what does this mean for you?
One less thing for me to worry about. I'll give her a little cheeky grin.
She slowly reaches out and grabs it and pulls it in, looks it over. And you, for the first time in a while, see a smile creep across her face. She says, "Thank you. You have no idea how much I can use this." And in grabbing it, you kind of instantly unattune. She instantly attunes, and so has the understanding of what it does.
She turns into Zariel.
Super not what those things do.
It was all a ruse. I implanted myself in your party. I'm getting it was me all along.
I have something to tell all of you.
Oh no.
We're gonna go to the commune though first because it's been a little bit. So let's do the commune.
Yeah.
Let's do the commune.
So if you want, I can link the spell. Up to you if you want to see it or not. Well, I'm already looking for it, so I'm gonna.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Okay.
So I'm just gonna take out my Torm amulet, business as usual, and try to ask.
Business that's used. This is business that's used at a 5th level.
Yeah.
It's chill. It's fucking easy, easy. So I've prepared my yes or no questions.
Okay.
So, kind of eyes closed in this communal essence. Head down. Can we use Krakatoic to break the chains of Altera?
Okay. How's about ask all three? Ask all three.
Okay.
Do we need Zerial? Well, hold on. Reason why, if you want to ask me, if you want me to ask all three, great. But I'm just kind of saying these out loud.
Oh, I see.
And
You're
if
gonna
people
change.
if
Yeah.
people chime in
Sure.
and want me to change a question, like how,
Sure.
you know,
Okay, then this is what I'll tell you. You're holding your Torme amulet. Yol, where did you stash your weapon? Yeah, the one that
The
you
Blade
got.
of the Thunder?
Yes,
It's on my back.
it's on your back. Okay. Um. Your Torme amulet does nothing. Doesn't light up. Doesn't give you any warmth. No signal. You ask your first question. Can you use the Krakatoa to break the chains? And you see in your trance Yol's blade, the shovel, on his back. The tip of it pulses. And it pulses like upwards. And you read that just in your kind of divine connection as a definitive yes.
do we need? Damn, that changes my question quite a bit. Because that's a pretty good answer. I'll ask
Yes, is a pretty good answer.
I'll ask question 3 then instead of 2. Do we, as a group, have the power within this group to break the chains of Elturel ourselves?
And at that, you see the pulse roll down the shaft of the blade, going downwards. You read that as a definitive no. And just for the rest of the group, again, what he said, you're hearing all of this, all of Gantesh's questions.
We're probably not seeing the thing light up though, if we're not paying attention.
That's right. You wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
So if you have a burning question, you can talk to Gantesh as he goes.
What are our chances of survival?
It's a yes or no question.
33 point.
3-3 repeating, of course.
What do you got?
Can we use any of the other army's leaders to break the chains?
The tip of the blade pulses. I like that these are only yes or no answers. That's a cool spell. That's a cool spell.
So, hand's gonna break free, look up out of my trance. Well, I'm sure you heard my questions. It does seem like it's not only the Krakatoic that could be of use. Maybe Tiamat, Gargoth. Not sure about the war machines. And quite frankly, I don't know what this mushroom mommy
Yeah, me neither.
Mushroom mommy. No.
Take negative inspiration, please.
Is it too late to just remove people entirely from the campaign?
So maybe we divide into groups and focus on each group a chain. 3 groups. One on the west side, one on the east side, and one that deals with river Styx. I don't know if divide and conquer is the best approach, but we have six people. It's 2 per group.
I guess you were right, Yol. Brute force is the way to go. I'll remember that.
Consider I might have given something a thought once or twice. This idea didn't come from me. It came from Nasius. Last I checked, they're not an idiot. Though they were trapped in the companion for a long time, so maybe they are an idiot.
Overpowered by pure evil.
Okay, fine, not an idiot.
I have a hard time calling divine beings idiots, you know. I just struggle with that. Like I was saying, I have something to tell you all, and hopefully this doesn't make you retract your gesture. You see, I meant what I said. I did have more faith in you than I think all of you did, especially early on. And I made a bit of a bet. You see, when you remember when you left me to watch over the shield?
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to stop him. And I have to help him take the seat.
For what in return would you even say yes? Why would you say yes to that? What do you gain from that?
But you lost the bet. What was the bet? What did you
I didn't lose the bet. We're still in the bet. Yeah, the bet is that I can see to it that happens. And I thought that you'd all be able to take Zariel out, and I didn't think anyone else would be fighting for this seat.
Oh no.
But why?
Because he told me that he was going to get free and kill you all. And he made a deal that he wouldn't.
Did he make that deal with you, Brew?
God, there's a gap though. When I made a deal with him and when she made a deal with him.
I thought it was the right thing to do.
How?
I was alone with him for. It just felt like it was weeks. And he just convinced me that he was the things he described that he was going to do to you. We don't need to kill Zariel. We just need her out of the seat and for somebody else not to take it.
And what happens if he doesn't take the seat? What happens to you?
I
Wait, who takes the seat? Sorry?
If Gargoth does not take the seat of this realm, Rhea, what happens to you?
I am stuck until he does.
I wouldn't sign that contract.
Well, you weren't there. And it was for you. You were the one I was thinking of the most.
Why me?
Oh my god.
Because you're young and you have things to live for. I don't know.
So
I
are
was in the
you.
moment.
You're both children.
This is not helping.
Well,
Rhea, say no more. It's done.
The decision has been made. And now we will live out the consequences of that decision.
When the time comes, even if we can get there, it will be a tough decision to make. But we're nowhere near that. So let's get back on track and... I mean, Gantash apparently got some guidance. What is our best option?
All of them. Likely. But, Rhea, you need to help him in this process, correct?
I just need to. I don't need to help him. He just needs to. He just needs to win the seat.
It is in your best interest for Gargoth to sit on the throne of Avernus.
But you can still fight.
Well, I just want to clarify because I was at least smart enough to go through the specifics, and he seemed to not say exactly that he has to take it. He just has to win the seat. I don't know if that makes a difference. So. But yeah, I don't want to hinder him. I want him to win this war. And we need to see to it that, we need to see to it that Zariel's out of that seat anyways, right? So. I don't know. I fucked up.
Well, hypothetically, if we divide into 3 groups, each focusing on the 3 chain points. If you're a part of the group on the west, you're technically helping him win that seat. All his opponents are on the west side. So if you're fighting alongside whoever ends up being on the west side group, if that's the strategy we go for, you're technically helping him.
Sounds like she doesn't need to help, she just need not hinder.
And that's not hindering. She's on the west side. If she's here, she's hindering.
Look, Rhea just doesn't need to die. And the whole seed thing will be figured out once we deal with Zariel. We don't even know what will happen once we defeat her, if she can be redeemed. We don't know. But let's just get down that path. It doesn't matter who we're helping. All in all, Rhea should not die. That's all that matters.
You don't want to add more to your plate. So I'll just do what needs to be done. Don't make any special concessions.
You will do what needs to be done.
Yep, and you'll do it well.
You are a high rider.
My story will be written differently than those who first wrote. I will be successful and I will return.
And we will return alongside you then.
Good. At this, as the armies are starting to move closer after all this discussion, the war still rages on beneath Elturel. You see the cloud of the war machines kicking up. But the cloud, after a few minutes, dies down. Eol, with your vision, you can see way across the battlefield, and you can see that the war machines have stopped a little more than a kilometer away from the edge of Elturel, staying well out of the fight. Tiamat, everyone can see, and this flock surrounding her, now coming into view as well, for most of you, also stops and lands on the ground more than a kilometer away. The same is true for the other armies. The other thing that you see, in the center of Elturel, a human body falls through the center of the river opening and just almost not limp, but in just like a diving position, dives towards the ground. You see it kind of hit the ground in just this pile. It's this horrific hit. And then it kind of like comes back up and stands up, looks around, grabs a weapon off the ground, and starts fighting in the war. And then you see another one do the same thing.
Gideon's army of the undead. Has amassed.
Well, don't got much
Who
more
are
time.
they fighting?
Oh,
The devils.
You watch for a little bit, and you see that they are specifically targeting the devils, and the demons seem to let them.
Does everybody see the armies stop on the west side?
Yeah,
What
everyone can see.
What about Gargi's army?
Yep.
They stopped
You
too?
can see. Yep, and you can see the legions squared up perfectly. They seem to be the most controlled formation.
Are they waiting for Zariel?
Well, if he wants the seat,
Well, they
1,000% he's waiting for Zariel.
they're all waiting.
They don't know that we have the sword, do they?
No, I would hope not.
Not even Zerial knows, but maybe she senses
Well,
it.
I'm sure Zariel can sense it.
Now, that big dragon, what side is that one on?
The north.
No,
Against Zerial.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
That big dragon? You mean Tiamat? The god of dragons?
Yeah, the one that you stole money from. We all did.
yeah,
Well,
that's the least of its worries, don't worry.
Ha! It'll smell its gold.
it's mostly copper and silver, actually. Tiamat is on no one's side.
She wants the seat.
Tiamat fights for Tiamat. And the army of Tiamat the same.
Well, I don't need a history lesson, but I think Eltural's our priority. We have nothing to do with the armies right now, unless I don't know. Who knows what Gideon has done to the city?
The fact of the matter is, who sits on the throne of Avernus does not really matter. With the exception of Rhea's situation.
The way I see it, Gargoth potentially may let us live. Zerial may potentially let us live. Tiamat will incinerate us, no matter what. Yeah, I don't know.
These what ifs, no offense, Burrow, are quite non-important. Ultimately, the chains, in my opinion, are probably more important than our own lives. Break the chains, Elturel lives. Doesn't matter what happens after. So, instead of who's gonna eat us and who's not, let's assume they eat us all. If that's the worst case scenario, then we need to use them to break the chains, as Yol has been describing for the past 30 minutes. But with the information that I gained, we can use all of them, not just the Krakatoic. We can use Gargoth, we can use Tiamat, maybe even the War Machines, although I doubt it. We need to focus on the chains, not on the politics. Unless you somehow think politics can break the chains. And when has that worked in history? I propose we split up into 3 groups, each assigned a set of chains, and use what comes at us on that side to break the chains. Those that can fly, probably beneath Elturel, and those that can't, set up on the west and the east side. If anyone has any better ideas, I'd love to hear it.
Certainly don't.
I want to make sure. If I'm on the west side, the side of
Tiamat.
Yeah. You want me to run around under the chain, hoping that Tiamat destroys this hundreds of tons chain and I survive, but the chain doesn't.
Yeah, if you have a better idea, it would be
I don't.
a great time to hear it. And, well, you won't be alone. 3 chains, 3 groups, 2 people per chain.
Is there like a, can we
Take straws.
put something fake there or something, or do we have to actually be the ones that are there?
It does not matter what you use to lure the attack. You just need to lure the attack.
She looks to Silas. Can you make like a fake me and put it on the chain, or a fake you or something?
Yeah. But we need to be close by.
Oh, thank God.
I might be able to put something on a chain of my own.
Okay. And she's like just shaking at the idea of all this. Okay.
What did you expect to happen when you came here, Rhea?
I thought we would just be...
Untie a couple of ropes and let it float off into the sunset like a helium balloon?
Maybe. I didn't know what I thought. I just was being led by my bravery. And I'm sorry that a dragon with 5 heads that blocks out my view of the sky is putting a hindrance on that.
You were being led by your bravery when there was nothing to be brave about. It is not cowardice to be afraid, but it is cowardice to let that fear color your judgment.
Mine.
Steel yourself, because you're not the only one among us who is afraid.
I'm not.
That's not helpful.
Fine. Who's going where?
Well, if chains are being directed right into the river Styx, it would be highly suggested
I will take the river chains.
that 2 that can fly.
Krakatoa.
Maybe Silas can join you too if he can fly.
Not for long. They can fly longer than me. I think I'd be best on the east side.
Okay. So, Yoel's alone. with
Wait,
the
sorry,
river.
you were saying there's 6 people, I'm realizing. Where's the 6th?
Oh, sorry. I messed up. Frank looked. I thought I did Frank. Everybody Frank plus Rhea. My bad. We did have a 6th.
There
He
are
just
6
died with
chains
his
total,
ass.
is that correct?
No, no, there's more than that. There's 4 on the river side, and there's 4 on the other side.
4 on the river side and 4 on the other side.
The west side. Like there's 4 holding
There's-
it towards a furnace.
There are 4 coming from the river,
Yes.
and there are 4 drawing it from the west side of the river.
Yes. Like far to the west, towards the
Also,
ground.
8 total.
8 total, none from the east.
Oh, that would have been helpful. I thought it was
2, 2,
Oh, none
2.
from the east. Oh, I see.
So just
The most important thing is that the city does not get pulled into the river. If it collides with the land, that feels like something that could be resolvable.
So, if I'm understanding this correctly now, one person under the river being Yol and everyone else on the west, it feels like we need somebody here to stop Gargoth at least.
What is Gargoth going to do?
Yeah, what is
Gargoth does not
gonna
care for
do?
Elturel.
He doesn't. I think we push the tide against the demons and we get rid of the demon chains.
There's nobody here that Gargoth is going to be looking to fight. Like, there's no war on the east side, right? It's all on the west side, if I'm understanding.
It's all like underneath it. In fact, where the chains are, there are very few actual demons or devils. It's like the anchor points are almost like a secondary thought to the war that's actually taking place. There are reinforcements joining, so there are some things on the outskirts. But for the most part, it's happening underneath Elturel. The entirety of it.
Okay. Let me get this perfect lay of the land, okay?
For sure.
Elturel above the river, right?
Yep.
And
Elturel overhanging the river a little bit.
oh.
Okay.
So it's on the west side, but it's just a little over the river.
Correct.
Oh, so it's like give a percentage of how much it overhangs.
That's right.
Can
10,
we just draw
20%.
So what wood is the door made of?
A percentage of the entire landmass. Is it 10% overhanging, 20%?
Let's call it about 10%.
Oh, it's nothing. But there's 4 chains that are pulling it into the river from,
That's right.
and then 4 chains from the west pulling it into the ground.
Correct.
And nothing from the east. It's barren. Nothing, no war.
The river is on the east.
But we're on the east side of the river.
Yes.
When I say east, I mean east side of the river.
No.
That's what I've been referring to.
Yeah.
West, river, east.
I think we should have just drew it.
No, but hold on. There's no war on this side of the river. That's what I'm asking. Is there a war on this side of the river?
Oh, no, there isn't.
Okay. So, the point that I've been trying to make as Gantash is that there's no war on this side of the river. If we all migrate to the west and deal with the change there, this idea of Gargoth coming to this side of the river, if all those devils can fly, what's stopping him from just flying up to Elturel? We need something here to at least slow him down. If he was coming from the west, he would have tons to fight. Tiamat, war machines. Here he's got nothing. Because we want to take the Krakatoic, which means he's not fighting.
Gargoth doesn't want Elturel, though.
I believe
know
it's
this.
a part of the seat. Why else are the demons fighting for it? It's a part of the seat. Zariel owns Elturel. If you own the seat, you own Elturel. You own all these beautiful souls. Do you think Gargoth doesn't want hundreds of thousands of people enslaved to him? Why wouldn't he want that?
Zariel's had the seat before Elturel was succumbed to this. It's just the souls. We know this. The contract.
Yes, I agree.
But it has nothing to do with the seat. I think we don't have to worry about the side until we get there.
I disagree. I think we do need to worry about this side.
I guess we'll do what we can. And then you'll go on this side then. I choose to deal with the demon chains.
And so be it.
I'll stay with you.
You're more useful on the demon chains. If Yol has river chains under control, there's more to deal with on the west. Besides, if the Krakatoak is coming here, to my side, that's Yol's responsibility. I'll just have to deal with Gargoth. And I'm just gonna begin casting my thing. I don't got time. I'm just gonna start casting that spell.
Okay. So again, you see Gantash go into a trance. This time a little bit more focused.
I'm gonna like get off the car. I'm gonna walk probably like 20 feet off and just start arms out wide. Start.
Okay. So I think to paint a little bit more of a picture, if you're casting the spell that you showed me before, what you guys see is, in fact, on the ground, you start seeing this kind of glistening outline of this large, almost cathedral-like structure starting to be outlined just in these tiny, glistening, almost glass-like walls. And they start slowly, very slowly forming into a solid piece. But it will take a while.
For RP's sake. The temple is dedicated to whatever god, pantheon, or philosophy is represented by the holy symbol that is used in casting. I'm obviously using the Torum amulet, but for RP's sake, you can let me know what it looks like when it's done.
For sure. Okay.
When it's done, I have to make a choice of who I do not want to be kind of like not allowed inside.
Okay.
But we'll get to that point later.
Okay. Yol, I'm gonna tell you this first. With your eagle eyes that have been so gosh dang helpful, you can see far off in the distance the Krakatoak. It's making movements, and it seems as though it's actually being held up a little bit, because as it moves, you see that it starts picking up stragglers of devils that it comes across, and it viciously leaps out at them and not only kills them seemingly from this distance, but takes its time kind of chomping through it, and it like stands still for a little bit at each one as it moves along.
So if I had to estimate how long until it has, or how long until it reaches the city?
If it were headed straight towards you, I mean, for some reason it seems like it's slowed down a pretty good chunk. If it weren't stopping, it'd probably be about 30 minutes maybe at the current rate. But it's making all these stops every like minute or so. It just jumps on a straggler, chews on it, stops, and then continues on.
Gotcha. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you kindly.
Silas, in this moment, you actually pick something up. Can you still see into the ethereal plane?
I can.
I can also, by the way.
Oh shit. Then both of you, when you look towards the battlefield, you actually see riding around on just way too small of a almost looks like a Labrador dog. You actually see Mad Maggie rolling around in the ethereal plane, popping out. She lays down on the ground, pops out of the ethereal plane, and you see her picking up things off of corpses. She pulls out eyeballs, takes teeth, claws, and she just stuffs them into this like leather fanny pack almost type pouch, and then hops back into the ethereal plane and just is looping her way around the battlefield.
Oh my god.
Just collecting body parts.
Yep.
Freak.
Well, how do we get across? I mean, y'all, you got that covered. Or I guess you got that covered.
You want to carry?
Sure.
I can carry you across.
All right.
Um,
Dantesh.
what side is Rhea defending? Left, the west side as well?
I'm not sure what you guys called.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick you both up. Fuck it. I'm a strong lad.
You're able to get them across.
They're
No problem.
both children.
I did say that.
You did say that. How dare you?
Excuse me. Yeah, I'll carry you across. If you would allow me to carry you across. If you accept
Yes.
that as your destiny.
Gantesh, let us know if you need us.
Before I hop on Baldon, I want to put my arm on Rhea's shoulder and look into her eyes and tell her we're in this together. And then proceed to fly off.
You're going towards the west? Or where are you going?
I'm going to help Yoel with one of the chains so he can be better used for something else.
And she just says back to you, just kind of affirms and says, I know. I never thought I'd have to take part in defending you to some extent, but here we are. Don't die.
You don't die either. And I'm gonna gallop away with Baldon, my nightmare.
All right.
I'll look back to like noticing people are starting to leave. I hope we can get through this in one piece. Do the best you can. The gods are watching. This may be the last time we see each other. So good luck. And it's been one hell of a ride.
I will be fine.
Maybe. I think so.
Yol, as you're doing your thing, carrying these people, everybody's kind of taking off, doing their thing. You feel like a little tug on the side of your shoulder. And you just hear Lulu say, whew. Is it cold?
Can you get gold?
Oh, I didn't think I could get anything.
What's on your mind?
I don't know. Something doesn't feel good. Oh, there it is again. And you again feel like a little tug on your shoulder, and you look and you see her trunk is there. It's been there. But you didn't feel it before.
Can I glance off in the general direction of the Tiamat-shaped doom on its way over? Does there happen to be a giant bitch-ass white dragon hanging around?
Giant bitch-ass white dragon. Oh, you're looking for... Oh, I see.
What, Obatala?
You do see a dragon of that description, though I will say, kind of retroactively, you kind of saw it amidst the jumble that was there before. And again, that army has stopped moving. They've all been standing in place. I don't feel good, Yul. I feel like something's coming.
I'll look around at all of the armies basically parked at the gates of Helm's Deep. Gang's all here. Just waiting for the guest of honor.
Right. Whew. Maybe it's just nerves. And then you feel her move the trunk up and wraps around your head like a headband, like before. She just kind of eases into your back.
I'm nervous too.
So, I do need to know at this point who is going where, who's moving. I know, Buru, you're staying on the east side.
I'm
Chains.
alone on the east side.
Oh, you're alone on the east side? Okay.
Everyone's on the west.
Alone on the east side.
They park on the west, under the... Or, I know what you're asking, but it's...
Yeah.
Everyone's west. Yol underneath with the river chains, and I'm alone on the east.
I think we're here. I've described something, or I've drawn something. It's very crude, but
It would honestly help a lot.
here you go.
Wow.
It's very crude.
Well, okay, so
Position yourselves.
I have just carried Silas and Rhea
Across.
here.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
would say I'm here.
Though underneath Elturel
Yeah.
is where this massive battle is currently waging, correct?
Yeah. I'll give you a
So then
drawing.
realistically, I probably brought them up here.
Yeah, I'll give you a little drawing. You do have a safe spot to land on that side of the river where they're at
Sure,
right
but
now.
I mean like a place for them to, not have to pass through a battleground to...
Let's call that the warring area.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
So I've brought them over. I've got Lulu hanging out on my head.
Yes.
From there, I was going to, leave them to their own devices.
Okay.
Your life, good luck, and get back to clearing the devils and demons and stuff that are climbing up these chains, trying
Okay.
to make life for Nasius and I don't remember the name of the unicorn. I don't think we ever learned it.
I don't think so.
I think you
Trying to
did.
make their lives slightly easier.
Okay. Okay,
I learned
so
when Yul was a different man.
as you guys then head off, can you please just position where you're going to be? So go ahead and put yourselves there now on this crazy map. Silas in particular and Buru, you're the two I'm most interested in.
Krakatoa's coming from
The
the east.
Krakatoa's coming. I was gonna come down here because I had like a visual on the Krakatoa.
Actually, if that's the case, I'm going here. I'm flying.
When you'll drop me off, I wanted to say thank you and good luck out there.
Yeah,
And,
I mean,
I hope.
I did have a whole thing planned to say to both of you before, but then it kind of got the moment has passed.
Oh,
But you know, good luck, everyone. Bye bye.
look at- roll high, not low. Guess me and Rhea will make our way to the other side safely.
So you're going around?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to have a conversation with her either when we get there or on the way, whatever works best.
Well, you're going to have a lot of time to talk to her on the way because you got to go give a pretty wide berth.
It's the whole city of Elturel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got a long walk.
Yeah.
You could have flown us a little bit closer.
Okay. Okay. So let's jump back. All right. So as you head over, so we can jump to you guys. So
Can you remove our war machines? Because I don't think they'll be relevant
sure.
until they become. Just give us a little more real estate on the map.
Sure.
Also, put Lulu on me, not on fucking Silas.
Wait.
Getting jealous. Oops.
She likes me now.
No,
Me and this elephant got a whole life planned ahead of us.
fuck off.
We're
That's
running
my
away
pal.
together.
All right. Silas, I'll jump to you. You're walking with Rhea if you want to talk to her. She's going to be kind of off in outer space, though very keenly aware of everything happening around her. I will say that it doesn't take a whole lot to make a fairly safe route for yourself. Every now and then you may have to like stop and let some, straggler run in and join the fray. But other than that, if you keep a wide enough berth, you're good to go.
You're not the only one that has made a stupid decision
Oh fuck.
with contracts and trusting people.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Well, you know me well. But since this might not make it from this, I also made a promise to put someone on the seat.
Did Gargoth get you too?
No, not Gargoth.
Who?
Another lord fighting for the seat.
Tiamat?
It's not important.
I think it's important, Silas.
Why? It can only go one way.
Well, what happens to you if they don't get their way? If it's not Gargoth, I need Gargoth in. I don't want to die, Silas, and I don't want to be stuck here forever. What happens to you?
Oh,
Are you stuck here
no.
forever if I get my way?
They're gonna fight each other.
I don't know what happens to me.
Did you sign a contract?
No. But this person already controls my life.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They're the one that brought me back. And they can just as easy send me out of this world.
Are you talking about that fucking thing in the river?
Yes.
So what are you gonna do? You have to help it?
I don't know what I'm gonna do. But if I don't, things probably won't look good for any of us. Especially me.
But if you do, things definitely don't look good for me.
Yeah, we put ourselves in a pickle, didn't we?
Yeah. A pickle.
So funny. Now they have a long walk together.
Right now reminds me of, sorry, minor non sequitur. It reminds me of us several years ago. I told someone we should go for a walk, and I picked a specific route, and we were breaking up on this route, and we had the "I'm breaking up with you" conversation like within the first block of the route, and it was like a 6-block route, and there was no getting out of it. This feels like what's happening right now.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, but then imagine you had to lure a giant 5-headed dragon together and work together to do it afterwards.
Oh my fucking god, this is
Anyway.
gold.
Sorry, as you were.
If
I already got it.
if I'm being honest here, Silas, it sounds like you have a choice. And whatever I can do to break whatever hold she has on you, I will do that.
She has my life. And others.
But that's not indefinite. That's not. Something is keeping her connected to you. What happens if she dies?
Honestly, she's more terrifying than Zariel.
Maybe to you. You know, when I was learning about the Blood War, and we learned about the differences between demons and devils, the one thing that they taught us that always stuck out to me was that devils have law. They have order. They have a way of doing things that mortals can wrap their heads around. They can understand them. Demons, we can't begin.
Chaos.
That's right. and we can't begin to understand them. So you're probably just more afraid of them because you're afraid of what you don't know. You can understand Zariel. You know how she got there. But you can't begin to imagine. That thing isn't human, and it's not even relatively close.
I
But I
just
would put-
don't. I just don't see any hope.
Well, you should. I think we can do this. I bet on you already. I had hope. So you should have hope in yourself.
Shouldn't have bet on me.
Well, I did, and look what you've done. You've come this far. I meant you've come this far. We killed a demon lord. Didn't we?
I don't have your optimism, unfortunately. But you know, you are right. We have come a long way. I guess we'll see what happens.
You know, I think it'll be easy. I don't have your powers, and I don't have Buru's strength, and I don't have Yul's angelic everything that he has now. But I watched all of you break down Yinagu, put your blades into his belly, and blow him apart by piece. When Zariel came, she didn't strike a single blow, and Yinagu went down to your blades. I think you have more power between the four of you than you realize.
Like I said, I'm not scared of Zariel. What comes after?
We'll deal with that when it comes. The same way you've dealt with everything. How long ago was your biggest issue a simple man with nothing but a few daggers sitting under deck on a boat? And then you dealt with that, and then you dealt with the next thing. So we'll deal with this too. And she reaches out her hand. You.
Gonna hold hands. I'll
Would you like to shake it? To shake your
Oh,
hand.
to shake it. Okay.
I mean, fuck, man.
We're gonna hold hands and walk the rest of the way. Come on.
You're gonna skip
Yeah,
too.
I'll shake her hand. My cold hand.
I wanted to say too, I think this look actually suits you. It looks cool.
Well, not everyone thinks so, but
Well, I do. Let's go. Not die to Dragon God. How's about that?
I'm not planning on it. But she's not gonna like me.
I hope not. And you find your way making your. After that, you make your way up to the base of the first chain. It's huge, towering. When you look up, you can see it's still tightly gripped to the side of Eltro. On the other side of the city, Buru and Yol preparing themselves. Gantash, I will say at this point, your spell completes. Yol, you can see from this point this cathedral, this lavish, beautiful structure has come into existence. Buru, you would see it too. And Gantash, as you walk up to the front door, you see that the brass handles are in the shape, the symbol of Lathander.
Bruh.
I do want to mention it's 120 by 120. It's fucking massive. And I'll open the door.
Okay. Can you link the spell just so I can make sure that I have everything I need for it?
I do get to make some decisions about it.
Sure.
I'll let you
Then
decide.
go ahead and make those.
Oh, okay.
God damn.
That's these big spells, dude.
The way you said that, the way you said go ahead and make those, really made it sound like you were about to say bitch.
Yeah. I want lots of windows.
Okay.
Altar at the end. Whole floor carpeted.
Okay.
And I want a kind of like a little deep groove before the altar, kind of like a little dip down, like a couple steps down, and then a couple steps up before the altar.
Okay.
I can choose how illuminated it is. I want this to be a fucking disco ball. I want maximum illumination coming out of this cathedral. I want Gargoth to be walking down and there's just like a fucking big, bright Christmas decoration just fucking right before Elter.
He's walking past the Tiesto concert.
Yeah, he's like, no, there's no music actually, obviously. And then at the end of the altar, whatever, I'm gonna guess, there's like some sort of Lathander thing at the end. If the door handles have a fucking Lathander on it.
Some sort of Lathander thing,
There's incense. It fills the air. And it says the temperature is mild. Maybe it's like a little bit cooler than...
it's like a beautiful, cold, like seems cold comparatively.
Yeah.
As you walk in.
And I'm going to choose Fiends.
Yeah.
Fiends.
Okay.
I'm going to choose Fiends. And the
All right.
text for Fiends is near the second half of this long text.
Okay.
This temple also blocks ethereal travel through it. Just thought I'd mention that.
Okay.
Nothing physical can pass through the temple's exterior. It cannot be dispelled by magic and has an anti-magic field. An anti-magic field has no effect on it. A disintegrate spell destroys the temple immediately. So if Kargoth has one of those, I'm fucked, bro. And so I'll open the door after my description of the inside.
That is what you walk into. Now, what I will say is you are right that on the altar there is a depiction of some sort of figure, some sort of human-like figure. And it seems like it could be some sort of god, but nothing necessarily that you've ever seen before. The hand is actually in the position of the symbol of Torm. The right hand is in the position, but the face is like oddly disfigured and morphed, and you can't make out what it is.
I'm gonna walk up to the altar. I'm just gonna let out a big sigh. It's just us now. We'll do what we can. I'll take out my Torm ring, place it on the altar. Take out my Torm helmet and place it on the opposite side, putting kind of like the ring on one side. And I'll just say, I'll grab
And he
onto a
nails
necklace.
a sign on that says shop.
Yeah, crudely written. I'll grab my necklace and say, sorry, I think I'll need this one. And I'll kind of light some of my own incense. I know it's already incense filled in here, but it's kind of like just custom practice for rituals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll do that. The spell requires no concentration, so I can like be chilling. Concentration spell per se. And I'm gonna go to the groove, like the groove part, face the altar, sit down, sit my butt down, get into like a prayer position, and I'll start praying. And I'm just gonna prepare an action for if anything breaks through the door.
Okay.
And the action is a spell called Dispel Evil and Good.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna get that ready if something comes in. Well, I'm gonna try to see what that thing is first, but it's pretty much like a spell that's ready.
Okay. In the midst of everything, the obvious impending war coming, Gantash still finds a way to find a peaceful place to pray, even in hell itself.
I made
even
it
got-
for myself. I made the place to pray.
He's even got the AC on.
All those incense, it's smoky in there. Air purifier.
It's not the only thing I'm lighting up.
Okay. At this, so the structure goes up. A few minutes later, you see the Krakatoak making its way towards you. Now, if there's anything you wanted to talk to Buru or Lulu about before it gets there, you absolutely, both of you have the opportunity to do so. It's the three of you now on this side. Otherwise, it will approach. So I'll let you make that call before I tell you what happens.
I'm grabbing devils.
You're grabbing devils?
I'm speaking to Yol.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were telling me.
That is why I went when we were on the map. Yol was on that chain that I initially was. So, and I actually was towards the battle. So.
Oh, sorry, you're.
So I moved at the last second. If you, I don't know if you saw, I went towards the battle to grab devils.
Okay. For what purpose?
The Krakatoak.
You want to feed them to the Krakatoak. You know the Krakatoak wants to eat us, right?
Are you 100% on?
Did you see what it did to Gantash just for driving past?
I guess so, but you want to put yourself in harm's way 4 times? I don't like those odds.
Well, what? You've never won 4 coin flips in a row?
I think we should at least try it once. If not, I'll let you take control of how you want to do this.
Sure. But let me anger the Krakatoic first.
Okay. So so the ground is littered with corpses. Are you looking to get a live devil
Now,
or a dead devil?
upon flying across the river Styx, there are demons climbing the chains, right?
Yeah, every once in a while you'll see spawn like literally just crawling up the chain from the river, just comes up and starts making its way up the chain. Totally disinterested in anything but the climb, by the way.
Hmm. I want to attempt to pick a live devil.
You want to grab a live one? Live one?
Yeah.
Okay. There is the whole slew of all the types of devils that you've seen that you would have the option to pick from. Anything from an imp all the way up to a horned devil, and even some bigger ones that likely you couldn't carry on that horse if you wanted to.
We'll do a horned devil.
A horned devil? Okay, like the purple ones? Or the horned devil is this guy. Let me bring him in here.
The beard and like.
Oh no, that's
Oh,
a
that's
bearded devil.
devil.
This is a horned devil. Sorry, I should have been more clear.
And those guys are big boys. Aren't
Yeah, these ones are huge. And you haven't fought one. So, sorry, you want a bearded devil?
I mean,
The bearded devils are the
So
ones that are sort of vaguely human-sized, vaguely humanoid-sized.
There is a ranking, so I'll tell you. The ranking goes: imp is like tiny. The next one up is the spined devil. Those are the purple ones. Then there's the bearded devil. Then there's the barbed devil, which is like the brown one with like barbs coming out of it. The next one up, I'm kind of losing track of what the next one up would be, but that's basically like the bottom tier.
Let's do a bearded devil.
Can do bearded. Okay. How would you like to approach this? So I'll say amidst the battlefield, you'll certainly be able to find a bearded devil and find a position where, in theory, because you're flying, you could, I guess, isolate it. But what do you want to even do?
Want to like swoop in
Okay.
and pick him up with my unarmed arms.
Okay. Okay. We're going to do a couple of rules here. All right. Buru makes his way into the fray on the outskirts here. And
obviously, I want to pick one that looks isolated. I'm coming from the air. I have options. There's no way I don't.
okay. I guess the only other question I'll ask before.
And true as the player is telling you that.
Yeah.
I'm asking.
Because I'm just saying that Brew wouldn't just go in.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you looking for one that's like wounded, or you want like a fresh one? This is the last question I'm going to ask.
Wounded?
A wounded one. Okay. All right. So you make your way through the battlefield. We're going to start with a perception check and see what we can spot out here. Okay.
Oh, first roll.
With no mods, actually. That's pretty good. You make your way through the outskirts of the battlefield, and you happen to find, in fact, there's like a pair of bearded devils scrapping with these like demon dog type creatures. And you can see that several bites have been taken out of one of their legs, and they are just pouring this black, kind of oozing blood out of their legs. He's clearly very focused on the fight, doesn't really care or see you overhead. So you're going to swoop in to get it. Okay? All right. First, We're going to do 2 rolls. First one is going to be a straight dexterity check for your handling of flying in here. So give me a straight dexterity check. Whoa, okay. And then, because he's not looking, you're going to have advantage on trying to grapple him out of this fight. So let's see what we can do here. So it'll be a straight strength check.
With advantage.
With advantage, sorry, yeah, with advantage. Ooh, my God.
19, 19, 20. How's that,
On
pal?
Spider-Man.
That is insane. Okay, so you spot your way through the battlefield, and it's like it just feels like second nature to you. You fly your way through, you pick out the wounded one, you rush in, and you snatch this thing up, and it is just pouring blood out of several of these wounds, and you just kind of see it lashing, trying to hit you with its beard. And I will say, as you go, it actually gets a couple of barbs into
Come on, I crit. Really?
into your horse. It's not able to
Okay,
quite get
fine,
you,
fine.
but its beard is its weapon, and I can't stop it from prickling its head. But it is a little bit weakened, and so it doesn't get several good strikes, but it does do some damage to Beldon. So I'll add that damage to your horse once we get started. But you snatch it up, ride it up, and you are now firmly in control. You end up finding a good jujitsu grip on the beard, and you get a good hold on this thing, and you reconvene with Yol as the Krakatoic seems to be just about a minute away.
Can I say something to Yol while I'm going back?
You got a minute.
This one or the next one? This chain or the next chain?
What?
Do you want me to put this guy on this one or the next one?
The next one.
Alright, I have faith in you. And we'll fly past. And I'll put him on the second chain. That's what I'm attempting to do now. But this I'll actually do with control. And if I have to fight demons, I'll have to fight demons. I want to put this guy there. Actually, you know what? While I'm subduing this demon, sorry, this devil, I want to like. No, they can't. They don't speak common. Damn, I can't speak to it.
You want to taunt this devil that you're gonna try to feed to a fucking giant demon?
I want to convince it that I'm trying to help, but then put it on this chain where all these demons are. Because it's wounded, right? You know,
It is.
You mean lie to it?
Yeah, but it can't communicate with me anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna just swoop it and drop it. I'm gonna take my time to put him onto this chain to his doom.
Okay. You can feel him kind of fighting as you go in to do this, to get him down there. While that's happening, the Krakatoic makes its way forward. And I'll say, I guess the way I'm envisioning this, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Yol is positioned at the southernmost chain.
Correct.
Which is closest to the direction that the Krakatoic's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Krakatoic, you can feel from inside your cathedral, Gantash. The ground rumbles beneath your feet. Just like that. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Okay. Keep doing that. We're setting the tone. We're setting the tone. And Yola, you watch as the Krakatoic hurls itself forwards, dives up, and comes crashing down on top of the cathedral, mouth open, to take a chomp out of the top of this thing. And it gets like the top right quarter of this entire cathedral into its mouth. and starts chomping down, trying to compress and crack its way through. Gantash, you can see inside of its mouth as its teeth are closing. You can see bits of devil in the gums, and you look inside the throat, and you can actually see a couple of gnolls just sitting in the stomach as its mouth is gaping wide, and the teeth scrape across the windows. And after about 30 seconds of it trying to find good angles, it stops its attempt to destroy the cathedral.
By the way, scratch that part. I didn't look. I'm fucking unfazed.
Oh.
Monk mode, baby. I'm fucking
Look.
celibate. I'm fucking nothing will distract me from prayer and God. I am a man of God.
I guess.
Says to himself convincingly.
How close to the chain is Gantash's little temple?
I kind of positioned it more towards Gargoth, so I would, I don't know, I would leave that to Frank, maybe third or fourth chain. Like I'm trying to.
Sure.
The temple was meant to hit Gargoth head on, you know.
I mean, the chains are not terribly far apart, anyways.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, and let's say about 100 feet away from
How
the edge
far?
of the
So
river.
me at the southernmost chain.
Mhm.
How far am I from the temple that is currently being la by?
Let's call it a half a kilometer.
What the fuck? Okay.
Did you anticipate farther than that?
No, way less far than that.
No, it's only half a kilometer is not that far. 500 meters.
I mean, half a kilometer is still pretty far.
It's not that far. It's not that far. You can make that distance pretty quickly.
Yeah, I would like to, as it is slowly chewing on Gantash's party time. I don't know. I guess I'll like dive bomb it.
You're going towards it?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Okay.
get it mad.
Okay.
But before I go, I'm gonna look at Buru and give him a little wink.
Okay, so Buru still waits at the second chain, I guess, for now. And you make your way towards the Krakatoa, who is currently chomping down furiously but unsuccessfully on this cathedral. You see, as it kind of withdraws, you pulls itself off. It's kind of sniffing. It's got these huge nostrils on the front of it. You can barely even see eyes on this thing, by the way. It is mostly nostril at the front of its face.
Dude.
And it's kind of like sniffing its way around the cathedral. And then it does smell you making your way towards it. So by the time you get, let's say, 100 feet away, it has turned its attention towards you.
And to be clear, I'm not being intensely reckless with my like dive. I know I said I'm dive bombing it, but like my goal is to get its attention, but I'm like being hyper vigilant because I know that if it sneezes on me wrong, I'm probably toast.
Yeah. Okay. So it does turn its attention towards you, though. Scrapes its teeth off of the rest of the cathedral and starts plowing its way immediately towards you. Does not take much provocation to get this thing's attention. And it claws its way across the ground, like just shooting itself forward, almost like bounding across the ground now that you're this
180.
close. Okay. Where are you headed?
Back to the chain.
The most southern one, or let's say the third
Well,
chain?
I mean,
would be
I guess whichever one is closest.
close. Okay, we'll call it the third one from the bottom. So you head towards that chain. Buru positioned, let's call it about 100 feet or 150 feet south of you at that second chain. Buru, you see this taking place too. This thing hauls ass towards you, and you see it kind of sniffing the air, and you get yourself positioned on that chain, and it launches itself in the air. Give me a perception check. Actually, both of you give me a perception check.
Sure. This couldn't go badly at all. How's a 20? How's a dirty 20?
It's nice.
Oi.
A 7.
The demon poked my eye, so devil poked my eye. Call the ref. Stop.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Okay.
a yellow card for sure.
Yol, you see that as this thing positions and propels itself up to jump forward, it's actually jumping over your chain to get to the second chain. As it sniffs the air, it diverts its head and whoosh, jumps in the air. Buru, unfortunately, you don't notice quite as well as you're laying or putting this devil onto the chain.
This is my own fault for not saying the things that come to my head as they are supposed to be happening. Because literally, as this was happening, I'm like, and I'd like to be calling to Buru, be like, eyes up, Buru.
Oh, you can do that. No,
But then
you can do that.
Well, you've already said that he doesn't know. Like,
No.
I don't want to.
He still gave me a chance to.
Yeah, you can absolutely. This thing's launching through the fucking air. It's got to clear hundreds of feet.
I mean,
Okay,
what
like,
else am
as
I
I'm
looking
coming
at?
back,
I'm
like, as
definitely-
I do the 180, my plan was to like, kind of dip, dodge, and weave, and be like, eyes up, pal.
Okay.
It's showtime.
Okay. So then, Buru, I will say, and I have no problem retconning that in, like,
I mean,
I
what
was-
else
I was
is Buru looking at?
Exactly. I mean, this thing's fucking huge. Okay, so Buru, I will say, it still catches you a bit off guard because you would suspect, as Yol did, that he would be coming for Yol, but he in fact dives directly and very accurately at where you're at. What is your reaction to this as this Moby Dick is flying through the air? Huge gaping maw, almost like 180-degree open jaw.
Am I positioned on the chain?
That's
In
up to you.
action?
Yeah, I'll say that, like, if you're holding the devil and like putting him on there, he's thrashing.
I am flying up, but letting go of my arms.
You're dropping.
But flying straight up.
Okay. Okay. You got a lot of distance to clear. Give me a dexterity saving throw to dodge this thing.
Good thing we are indomitable. Okay. We can only do this once. Okay.
Once. Fuck, man.
A normal dex saving throw, correct? And it doesn't matter!
Is it-
Oh my goodness. Holy crap. Hold on. Indomitable. Hold on. I'm gonna use it.
If it
Actually,
fails,
Hold on, you get
fail.
to learn whether you failed it or
Okay,
not
did I
before
fail?
you use Indomitable, because its condition is that you have failed.
yeah.
You failed.
Okay.
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 Okay, this is okay. We're gonna roll it again.
You must use the new roll, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I said I could do this once.
You can use this feature twice between long rests.
Don't be in that one.
Starting at 13th level, so actually
Yeah,
you can
you have two.
use two. So you have two Indomitables.
You got two, bro.
But I have to use the new roll. Wait, what?
You have two.
No,
At
so
level
you have
13,
to-
you have two.
You can use this feature twice. You can only use it once per instance. You have to use the new roll, but like you can use
Yeah.
Indomitable on your next failed save, if you plan on failing another save.
Oh,
I'm good with that.
17?
if it meets, it
Send
beats.
an
If it meets, it beats.
You fly up, drop the devil, and the two pieces of information you gather with your perception check is first, it clearly was sniffing the air and it like instinctually turned towards that chain. So something there is way more interesting than you to this thing. Secondly, as the devil drops, its jaws open and headed towards Buru, and it slightly kind of cocks its head down to head more towards the devil. Buru, you head up, and you just feel Baldon kind of kick the lip as you clear out of the way of the Krakatoak, who chomps down, swallowing the devil seemingly whole, and shatters the chain around as well. And you see all of Elturel just tilt and jerk, and not really, but I kind of funnily imagine, like almost like a roller coaster. You hear all the people in high hell go, "Whoa!" But the chain
It's
shatters.
like all of the people in the caves at Helm's Deep when they're fucking battering down the door, going, "Oh my god!"
Women and children only.
So, Yol, you have learned that this thing really is interested in these devils, and as it lands, it kind of like you see it just kind of spit out these different pieces of chain and metal, but then it finds and it starts crunching down on the devil that is just consumed.
I don't want to do that 3 times.
I would like to, if I may. How far am I from the other sets of chains?
From the other side of the city?
Yeah.
You are.
Like I guess I'm an entire city away, so it's a bit.
You're a city away.
Okay. And there's a big empty battlefield next to me. I guess I'll go grab one of the devil corpses. I don't know.
Just a corpse?
Yeah.
Okay. You obviously, I mean, it's no problem to find one. You
I'll
find a
grab a
nice
couple
juice-
even.
Okay.
Big strong boy.
All right. Also, you can pick up two like of the bearded devils if you want.
Great.
Okay. So you pick up 2 of the corpses, and as this thing's kind of like crunching down, it's on the outskirts of this battle, and it kind of like starts sniffing and like taking in its surroundings, and you see it like it's almost like slowly just picking up corpses into its mouth and like crunching down just on the outskirts of the battlefield as it goes on.
I want to shove. I want to like affix them to the chain. So I don't know, put their arm in it, or put their head in it, or put their whole body in it. I don't know how big these links are.
Yeah, they're big. They're huge.
But like, if I can fit, 2 bearded devils inside one of the links to sort of secure each other, then would do that.
Okay. I mean, no problem at all. No problem at all. You just wedge them in. And with the movement of you kind of like wedging them in, there's a lot of just corpses that have just been sitting there for a while, but these that you've picked up, as you're placing them in and kind of this movement's happening, like a bunch of the blood just like drips over these chains. And the kind of like fresh scent of that new blood coming out, you can see has clearly enticed this thing, and it kind of cocks its head up and starts sniffing around, and it starts heading towards you in the chain. And very quickly, it makes another fucking dive. I'll say you're able to get out of there because you just kind of dropped them, but it dives up, this time jumping across the river the other way, smashes down, and destroys the chain again.
While he was doing that, I would say I would have done the same thing.
Grabbing more?
Corpse
Okay.
specifically.
Okay.
And the most northern chain.
Okay. So you rinse and repeat, and this thing is just like, it's just a fucking giant animal acting on instinct. For like a brief moment, you think of it almost like a dog. It's not trying to kill you necessarily at this moment. It just wants to eat.
Just really wants the chew toy.
That's right. And so, rinse and repeat. You safely place these things down. You find a good way to coat these chains in blood, and it smashes through again, and all of Elturel shakes again. You have one more chain remaining on this side.
I'm not trying to get fancy. I mean, I guess I'll... Yeah, I just want more... I want these chains broken, and we want these chains broken as quickly as possible. We've found a way that seems to be pretty effective at breaking these here chains.
Before he does that, can I look around for a change of environment? Like
What do you mean?
something changing based on what we're doing?
Oh, you're like looking around.
Perception, yeah.
The main thing that you see is the tilting of Elturel. It's now like shifted and caught on just the one chain. It's not like it's like flipping totally to the other way, but it's very clearly like it just every time a chain breaks, the city jerks and then it flattens out again.
Alright, I guess I am gonna watch y'all do this for now. I'm just gonna fly up.
Okay. So you grab some more corpses, place them on the Krakatoic, this time on Gantash's side of the river. Kind of takes like a leer at the cathedral, but then instinctually again, this never-ending hunger jumps back across, smashes down on the fourth and final chain on the eastern side, and totally shatters. Splinters of this metal ball into the river. And the Krakatoic is now back on the side of the battlefield, makes its way across. Chews on that final set of corpses that you fed it, and then slowly starts chomping its way across the tainted corpses.
Moving to the west.
Moving to the west, that's right. Just staying on the outskirts for now, not necessarily taking part in the battle. There's a lot of corpses there, and it's just kind of making its way through.
It still looks like quite torn up, right, from the explosion?
Yep.
Just making sure.
Now the city, as that fourth chain breaks, the chains on either side were kind of taut, pulling on an angle. The city shifts up, and now the chains on the eastern side, and Silas, you bear the closest witness to this, as the metal just creaks its way and kind of screeches as the metal rubs on metal, and it is now just a taut chain and no longer hangs over top of the river. The chains are now just straight up and down, holding it above Avernus. Gantash, you hear a knock on the door.
What the fuck?
At the same time,
Knocking on heaven's door.
at the same time, Yol, Lulu is just like super pumped up. She's like celebrating with you. You know, oh, I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it. And you didn't even have to get out of the way. And Buru got out of the way. And she's like freaking out, and she's freaking out. And you realize she is not even at all ethereal anymore. She is totally opaque, and you can't see through her even the slightest. But she doesn't seem to even notice.
Huh.
Silas, I'm gonna give you guys each a piece here. Silas, you see above you, there weren't demons coming up on your side of the city, but you look up the chains that are now kind of totally straight up and down, and about a quarter of the way down the chain, you can see, so you've seen some of these corpses falling as you're over here. You actually see a little bit of a different scene. You see a pack of, like a string of people climbing down the chain. Something doesn't really feel right. They seem totally fine with the chains itself. They're maneuvering very quickly. And on close inspection, you can see in the middle of this chain, like third, fourth person in, is your dad climbing his way down the chain.
Are they? Can I tell if they're like zombified or like Elturelians? Like, do they look like normal people?
They look distinctly and explicitly like people that you've slept around.
Because what?
What?
Wait, slept around.
Uh-huh.
I don't.
Oh, I get it.
Okay.
And you can see that one of them, to give you a little bit more of a piece here, one of them is the guard that was with your dad. Another one is the prisoner that was in one of the other cells around your dad.
Gotcha.
Anyways, we're gonna jump back just a smidgen here. Gantash, there's a knock on the door.
Okay.
And it's gentle but firm.
Just gonna not move. I'm gonna call out. Who is it?
Just hear a knock again. No more forceful than the last.
What do you want?
A word.
The person says a word.
Mhm.
Do I recognize the voice?
No.
Do I recognize the creature? Like, type of person who would make a voice like that? Like a humanoid, a fae, a fiend? Do I recognize the voice type?
It is a deep voice. But kind of reminds you almost like an upper city higher house.
I know who it is.
I'm gonna get up off my knees and face the door.
Position you guys here.
Speak.
I'd like to look at your face. It's only proper.
Can I, like, having control of this temple, like, open the door kind of intuitively, or do I need to physically open the door?
I don't see a problem with you being able to open the door as part of the spell. But you can also open it physically. It's up to you.
Oh, fuck it. I'm walking up to this bitch. I'm walking up to this door. And I'm going to open the door. No spell prepared. No hesitation. Suck my balls.
I wasn't sure if you would. Crepe, who is it?
I don't know, who is it? I will tell you honestly if I am right.
Well, just text it to him on Discord. That's a better idea.
Fuck is that?
Or just
Who's that?
say it and I'll tell you whether I was right or not.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Oh, God. Well, that sucks balls. I mean, I couldn't have prepared any spell against this motherfucker anyways, bro. I couldn't fucking, not even fucking command or blind or nothing. Motherfucker can snap my balls in half.
Standing before you, the most insidious black eyes and twisted horns, holding a 2-foot long golden rod with a golden clawed hand at the end, grasping a red orb. Standing just on the ground, Don't be afraid.
Well, I've just had a Krakatoa try to eat my temple. I think there's not much left to be afraid of.
Well, you think very highly of your abilities, then. I'm only here because there is some unfortunate business that I would like to settle.
What does that have to do with me? There's business all around. I'm imagining you can see for yourself.
It's for your benefit.
Go on.
I just want you to know who you're fighting alongside. And he snaps his fingers, and you kind of black out.
Fuck.
Silas, you black out.
Oh.
Wait, what?
And you both wake up in this totally void, black void area. There's no walls, no ceiling. There's nothing but this totally reflective black obsidian floor.
Do I see Silas?
Yeah.
How far? Like close or like kilometers away?
50 feet.
Whoa.
And between you, there's nothing else in the room other than directly in the center between you, there are two scrolls rolled up. And the bottom piece of the scroll, so it's kind of like just bound with these red strings. And actually, sorry, I apologize. There's one scroll, it's not two. And out a piece of the paper comes out, and you can see Silas's name on it. Uru and Yol, you also black out and wake up in an identical room. Just the two of you, with two scrolls in the center of the room, bound with a red string. And Buru's name is on the bottom, peeking out of the corner.
2 scrolls or 1?
2.
With one of them having my name?
Both of them.
Okay.
I would like to keep going a little bit longer if you guys are okay with it. We started a little bit late, and just a little bit longer if we're okay. That's it. You guys, whoever wants to go first, I'm happy to do it, but it's only you two in the room.
So, Asmodeus is gone, right?
If that's who you think that was, sure.
I think that's what that was. He's not around me anymore. It's just me and Silas.
That's right.
Oops. No.
Can I approach the scroll?
You can do anything you want.
I'm gonna approach the scroll.
I'll mirror him walking up to it. Like, where the fuck are?
I'll point at it. Do you know what this is?
Where are we? What happened?
I
don't know what that is.
I don't know if I even have time to explain, but someone visited my temple. I didn't think anybody would. Or I thought I'd be fighting devils, but
Well,
I think some sort of... Honestly, I think Asmodeus visited my temple, but that is... He told me, I want to show you who you're fighting alongside. Then he brings me here with you in a piece of paper with your name on it. That's the context I have. Now, should we read it? What does this mean?
yeah, I mean, there's nothing else here.
I think
Need answers.
with a piece of paper with your name on it, what liberties would I have reading your papered name? I think you should read it. Or unravel it. Or whatever.
Just gonna nod my head and pick it up, and I'll be like, if this is another freaking contract, I'm not signing it.
You gonna read it?
Yep.
Are you reading it with
I'll-
Gantash or just to yourself?
I'll read it to myself, like, quickly, and then I'll decide.
It is your contract with Zariel.
Okay.
It explicitly talks about you becoming a warlock, abandoning your current path of magic and power. And as you read through it, there's a part about her helping you with freeing your soul. And there's a line that says, if Zariel so chooses.
Great. I'll just kind of look at it, flip it over, just be like, this is my contract with Zariel. Why is this here? How does this help?
If I can put 2 and 2 together. Maybe Asmodeus is trying to remind us that we fight for Zariel. Because, particularly from what it looks like, your soul is bound to her. I don't quite know where my soul belongs anymore, but I don't imagine getting out of this war alive anyway. But for you, maybe it's a reminder. I still think our allegiances lie with Elturel, but what happens if you don't follow this contract? Is your life forfeit to Zariel? I think that's what we're here in the first place to solve.
Exactly. So this doesn't matter if we kill her.
Can you rip it up?
I'll give it a try.
You rip it up. It's just like paper. You like throw it on the ground, and in the same spot where the other one was, there's another one.
Guess not.
Was
If
that
only it was that easy.
is that one any different? I'll take it and I'll just.
It's the same.
That's
It's the same. It's Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Oh, mine's not here.
That is interesting. I mean, you did die.
I did die.
And you still have your soul?
I don't know. I don't know what I have. All I have
She already
is
has.
all I have is this desire to save Eltro. That's the only thing I'm holding on to now. If this ends in us against Zerial, there's negotiation or there's blood.
Well, Rhea seems to need Gargoth on the seat, so if Zerial doesn't want to give it up, then blood it is.
Are you okay if Elturel survives and we don't?
If we perish saving Eltoro? Is that what you're asking me?
Yes, and whatever happens to our souls after is not up to us, but yes, if we perish.
I mean, we've come this far. Still here. Seems like I would be okay with it.
Okay with death.
I've already died.
This one would be
Still
for
dead.
real. For keeps.
Well, I don't know about that.
If it's the chains, or if it's Zerial. Death is a high possibility. As long as you're okay and focused on saving Eltro. I'll point to the scrolls just scattered on the ground. And this doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I haven't forgotten why I'm here, if that's what he wants us to see. I'm here for Eltro.
Well,
One more thing.
sure.
I don't know what the next hour holds for us, Silas. But I'm gonna try to give you something. We'll see if it works, but don't make me regret it. I'm gonna hand him the clampy clamps.
What's the clamp? Clampet clamps.
Baphomet clampy clamps.
Oh.
Citizen Snips.
Okay.
You can trust me with them. Hope you know that. I know others might not, but it's only for our benefit if we need to use it.
I believe you want to save Eltro. That's all I need. I'll stick out my hand. Like that meme. You know?
holding everyone's hand today. I'll do the same.
You grab his hand?
Yeah.
Okay. When you do, you kind of fade out of this void when you open your eyes, and neither of you are standing where you were. You're no longer in your cathedral, Gantash. And Silas, you're no longer on the ground in Eltrell. But you are still doing this. At that, I'm going to jump to... I won't tell you where you are yet, but I'm going to jump to... Yol and Buru, you're both on the ground, 50 feet away from each other with 2 scrolls between you. The lip of the paper is peeking out, both with Buru's name on it.
What
Now, neither of you were given any warning, obviously, that you were coming here.
I wake up. I guess get up from the ground. I see Yol. Then I look my attention towards the scrolls. Can't see it, can't see far. Without hesitation, I'm gonna run up to them.
I'm not moving. I mean, I'll get up, but I'm not like making any movement towards them.
And I'm gonna read both my names without reading the scrolls.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna look at Yol. Yol, that's you, right? This isn't a dream.
I don't know what this is, but it is assuredly me.
Then, if it is you, you can see my name from that far.
I can.
Come, my brother. Come to me. I'll put my arm out.
Yeah, I'll go up. What have you got, Buru?
I think I'm not surprised that your name is not up here. But in full transparency, I will explain. It's a pity that I had no faith in demons or gods or magic. I believe in pure brute strength. That's what got me through everything. I didn't dibble-dabble or take the time to understand. Only until this adventure, this quest, have I started to believe the curse that was around my neck once, your thumb. Can't forget that. Even then, I didn't believe what was at stake, a curse, a dark secret that bound us all. I still didn't believe. Moments before, or moments after losing Roger, time stopping, I did not know. You and me both in that moment. We did what we were supposed to do with strength. Defeating Thalmara. But what was to come next had no There was no way I could understand it. And I'm gonna put my hand to the contract that Zariel has for me. And if you would like to read it out.
You want me to tell him?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not a very long contract, but effectively the terms are very straightforward and a little bit grim and gruesome. And as you read it, you realize how one-sided the contract is, Yoel. To the point where it says, so on Buru's side, or rather on Zariel's side, it says that he is to gain the strength to protect others. The next sentence says strength being defined by what Zariel deems appropriate to mean strength. In Brulo's side, very simply, he must kill a child by his own hand, the age 10 or younger. And it has to be a mortal. Otherwise, his soul is forfeit.
Yeah, I see. I was a dum-dum.
Has this contract been fulfilled, Buru?
Definitely not. I can tell you after this happened, I looked for the guidance of God. I don't know if you recall, but my hand was in these imaginary pockets that Gantash had behind him the whole time. But I could not find that path. I could not find a path. But I'm gonna put my hand out to the other contract. You know, there was somewhat of a good deed that I've done. And it's helped this group, and so I've learned, caused even deeper roots of problems. During our dream in Idleglen, fighting Yanagu was too much. And I recall dying. Very quickly, in fact, with no chance.
Yes, I remember seeing you be eaten by some sort of massive worm.
It was one of the few times I felt very small, you know?
Dying? Yeah, it has a tendency to do that to you, I would suspect.
And this contract, I don't know what you guys saw, but I remember a hand touching my chin, being called back to life.
Sorry, DM question.
Yeah.
What did I see? What did we see?
You saw
know that Zariel showed up.
You saw Zariel reach down and put her hand under his chin.
Okay, I remember
but you saw a second hand specifically come out from where her hand was and reach up and grab his chin and revive him.
The last thing I can remember before I was brought back into that world, it's a touch on the chin. that hand and the voice that I heard, the becoming of this new contract that you see, this second one, was Gargoth giving me another chance. Now, my dreams of what I would like to have are forfeit. I'm unfortunately bound to this plane. Even if I fulfill what's been asked of me. It's better than killing a child, I'll tell you that. But I died in battle. And what was asked of me is to ensure Zariel is removed from the position of being the archdevil of Avernus. Now here's the kicker. Great. Gargoth, me and him, had a great time. A little bonding. I learned to kind of see the humor in his ignorance. But there's a choice. Either me or Gargoth will take the seat as archdevil of Avernus. So, doomed to this plane, I did die. There's no happiness in the mortal plane. There are no kids to save. But I will tell you this. If this does come to fruition, there were questions I had for Gargoth. Like, if I take the seat, like, what's going to be asked of me?
One of the benefits was the insurance policy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, ruling over the first level of Avernus, sorry, of the Hells. Jesus Christ. Hold on. I would only harvest the wicked. There would be some kind of middle ground, I'm sure. If I'm doomed to die into this plane or be tortured, I might as well rule it, is the way I see it. If I'm forced to harvest souls, it will be the wicked. And this is the contract I am choosing to fulfill.
Uru, you understand. Becoming the ruler of Avernus does not mean that you, as you exist, are the ruler of Avernus. Sariel was an angel.
It's true, but Gargoth has other plans, so to speak.
So, okay. So you gain the strength to defend others at the cost of killing a child. Or you bind yourself to this plane and either become the ruler of Avernus or Gargoth's second hand?
Yeah. Or I die. I just die.
Well, there is something I have learned about contracts while we've been down here. Aside from that, they are almost always a horrific idea. And that is that if the owner of said contract, as in the devil that has put their stamp, I suppose, on the contract, is killed in the plane from which they are native, all contracts of said devil are void. So what you've just told me sounds an awful lot like now we have to find a way to kill Gargoth.
I mean, it's definitely possible.
Yeah, it is.
But I think to bring myself back into this life, it'd be too much to ask of what is left of our group to do such a thing. But if Gargoth gets... If every bad thing here somehow imploded and I was able to go home, I would choose that in a heartbeat. But
I did not say... Well, I suppose I did say, actually. I should not have said that we have to kill Gargoth. What I should have said, that Gargoth needs to die. We do not need to be the ones to do so.
I agree.
And luckily for us, can't believe I'm saying luckily for us, there are literal hordes ready to tear the head off of any devil that comes in their path. Even if the devil is, for some reason, fucking massive.
I'll tell you this. If we're able to defeat Zerial, I will make the attempt to defeat Gargoth. I think Elturel does come first. I think we kind of set out for this in the first place, and I will not be selfish to seek the freedom of my soul just to kill Gargoth. But you know what follows suit if we are able to prevail against Zerial?
Buru, you should know my intentions have never been to kill Zariel.
If there is a way to change her...
Zariel can be redeemed, and Zariel will be redeemed.
Just like I said, look at these two things here. I don't know if that's possible. But I'll put faith in it.
Every road can be traveled both ways.
I know the contracts look bad, but I hope you have my full transparency. This is the unfortunate path I've been down.
I do not think you a bad person, Buru. Just an idiot.
Fair enough.
An idiot with no other choice. I don't know what it's like to die. Not yet. Can't imagine it's pleasant. Especially If you die before your task is done.
There are too many that depend on me in the mortal plane. I couldn't give up. Especially when there was a second chance. With stipulations.
Whether you are to return or not. I can make few promises. Possibly no promises. But I can give you my word that if you are not to return, then I will do everything in my power to make sure that those who depend on your protection and your guidance and your parenthood receive it. I don't know how or by whom. But it will be done.
Then know that your life must be well preserved under these events. And I will see to that, to every ability that I can.
Uru, if you die for me, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Now, how do we get out of here? I swear to God, if I get dropped into the river Styx, whatever happens, this conversation will mean nothing as I drop to my death.
Well, if we drop into the river Styx, at least we will drop as people who finally understand one another. And I'll put my hand on his shoulder.
I'll put my hand on his shoulder.
And with that, you both fade out for a moment and fade back in. Hand on each other's shoulder. You look around and you see Silas and Gantash clasped at the arms. Gantash and Silas, you have the same effect, just the same instant. You guys pop all out. And you kind of look around, you look down, and you realize you're standing on cobblestone, and there are fires here and there smattered around, and there are broken buildings. And behind you, you look, and there's a long road that leads to a set of stairs up into the courtyard of High Hall. So you've been dropped into El Terrell. Rhea is there. And a few things catch your eye. First, at the top of the stairs are a group of people just kind of sluggishly trying to walk forward, but being stopped by a group of people. There's Bullen, a couple of other people, some of the priests, and Ravengard. They're all trying to kind of like hold them back, like, and just screaming at them to go back inside. You also see, when you look up, in the sky, there are these wisps floating around in the clouds. The souls of those killed in Elturel since being yanked into Avernus float in the clouds above. Just before that, also above you, there is a seat floating in the air, sitting in which is the person that knocked on your door. Is this giant red and black throne, with spikes coming out the back, the sides, and the bottom. And beside him is a smaller but identical throne that is empty. The last thing you see, impossible to miss, floating in front of you, down at the other end of the street, and off the edge of Elturel, there's this giant, ominous metal ship, pointed at the top, and standing on which is a bald, winged creature with a halo of flame and a large, almost rust-colored hammer in one hand. And she lifts up, slowly descends, a look of rage on her face as she descends hundreds of feet away from you at the edge of the street. The last thing you take in is Lulu saying, "I think I know why I don't feel so good." And then that is where we're going to call it. We'll go back to this next session.
Had to leave me on a Lulu cliffhanger.
It's got to be Lulu.